Sonic Frontiers is a good game. It's been over 10 years since Sonic Generations came out in 2011. The last 3D Sonic game just about everyone can agree was great. Lost World came out in 2013, which kind of a mixed bag in the eyes of fans, and in between that game and Frontiers we had two big 3D Sonic games, one that exists and another one that I try to forget that it exists. Honestly, I was beginning to think that maybe it was time for the Blue Blur to hang up his hat and collect that pension because retirement seemed like the best option. Sonic Mania proved that fans could make a really awesome Sonic game, so maybe it was time for something similar to happen with 3D Sonic. I lost faith in the Sonic series. Then, Frontiers came out. And now I have hope again. An open-world Sonic game. It seemed impossible. When you think Sonic, you think get from point A to point B really fast, not exploring a wide-open sandbox with collectibles, side quests, and fishing. But surprisingly, it works. One of my biggest issues with open world games is it takes forever just to go anywhere. Everything is so spaced out that a majority of the game is just travel time. Game devs started using cute tricks like party member conversations and licensed music to make you forget you wasted like 5 minutes just getting to where the mission starts. But in Frontiers' case, thanks to Sonic's speed and the game being split up into smaller map sizes, you can get to the action really quickly. Speaking of action, combat was another big portion of this game that I was very skeptical of initially. When I think combat in a Sonic game, I think of this. But shockingly, the combat actually has a bit of depth to it. Sonic can parry, he can dodge, and he has several different attacks he can do. There's quite a bit of variety in enemy types that require different techniques to defeat, especially the mini-boss enemies. These fights are where the combat of the game really shines, as they're a great use of Sonic's signature high-speed moveset in actual combat. By defeating enemies, you get collectibles like these gears, which are needed to unlock the cyberspace levels. The cyberspace levels are the traditional 3D boost levels that we've all come to know from Sonic Unleashed. So if you're looking for a more typical boost style game, then that's here too. You can spend your time trying to get high scores and complete missions that'll give you vault keys, which you can then use to collect Chaos Emeralds and continue the story. This game is chock full of goodies to collect. Some of the other collectibles are these little stone guys that you can find to increase your speed or ring capacity. There's also these purple coins which you can use to visit Big the Cat's dimension. Here you can act like it's 1998 and go fishing in a Sonic game again, but this time it's actually pretty nice. If you've seen my Sonic Adventure development video, then you know that Big's campaign being fishing was incorporated into Sonic Adventure because the developers wanted a way for the player to relax after the tense moments of the other character stories, like fighting a water monster, getting chased by an evil robot, and drowning in the kiddie pool. But if we're being honest, Big's fishing in Adventure was about as relaxing as trying to disarm a bomb blindfolded. However, in Frontiers, it's actually a pretty chill minigame that can net you some tokens which you can exchange for items that actually help you in the main game, like these red and blue seeds that increase your attack and defense power respectively. You can also trade in your fishing tokens for these memory tokens, which you can use to talk to your friends in different parts of the map. I gotta say, I love the way the characters in this game are written. I don't think I've ever been a fan of Amy. Her whole obsessed fangirl thing from the games was played out before 10% of my audience was even born.
Sonic, 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 Sonic.
It's annoying, repetitive, and if we're being real, pretty creepy. I guess restraining orders don't exist in the Sonic universe, but in Sonic Frontiers, Amy's cool. I haven't finished the game yet, but I haven't seen even a single moment of Amy simping for Sonic. Heck, she even calls him out at one point when he's being a little bit of a jerk. I think my favorite version of Amy is her incarnation in Sonic Boom, but I'm fine with her in Frontiers. She's level-headed, optimistic, and compassionate. Knuckles finally has a brain again. Instead of just being dumb, he's brash and straightforward. He has a love of history and ancient civilizations. I love the rivalry he and Sonic have going on. They make fun of one another and joke around, but it's obvious they both care about each other, and at the end of the day, they have each other's backs. Sonic himself is also quite different. He cracks jokes, but it doesn't get too crazy to the point where it seems like he's practicing for a stand-up routine at the Apollo. Sonic is a nice and caring guy. He can be a little reckless, but he generally has a good head on his shoulders. One thing I found odd about Sonic is his voice is a bit different. It's the same voice actor still doing the role, Roger Craig Smith, but he's noticeably deeper sounding here.
You totally got me this time. I had no idea.
You tracked the Chaos Emeralds here, right? Let's find out what drew them here.
I don't mind it though. It fits with Sonic's more mature characterization in this game. The entire game has a more mature and serious tone than the recent 3D games. On the sliding scale of Baldy McNosehair to Ow the Edge, Sonic Frontiers is somewhere in the middle, maybe slightly more towards the edgy side as the story does take itself fairly seriously, but there is enough humor to keep it from getting depressing. I don't necessarily mind the more lighthearted Sonic games, but the constant unfunny jokes just ruin the vibe.
I've been itching for a fight all day. I think you're itching because you need a bath.
LOL. It's just a nice change of pace to have something a bit more upfront and honest. Also, in regards to the story, please no spoilers in the comments. Let's make sure everyone can enjoy this game's narrative for the first time on their own. So, I've talked about the things I like, but there are a handful of minor things I don't like too, so let's just get those out of the way. I wish the parry actually did require good timing, because as it is, you can just hold up the parry like a guard, and once someone hits Sonic, you auto parry the attack. It makes successfully landing a parry far less interesting and rewarding. While I did say that Sonic's speed allows you to traverse the map really fast, I still do wish there was a fast travel option available from the get-go once you reach a new location on the map. The skills you can learn are cool, but I wish there were more of them. I had most of them unlocked by the time I got to the second island. I wish there were more themes for the cyberspace levels. You can only look at generic city levels so many times before it gets old. I want more music. While you're exploring the world, there's one song that plays over and over again. It does change as you progress through the story in each location, but I feel like the game is lacking in the music variety outside of the cyberspace levels. While visually the game looks beautiful even on low settings, I wish there were more graphical options on PC outside of just high and low. Speaking of the visuals, where are the customization options for Sonic's fit? You can get the soap shoes as DLC for signing up for the Sonic Frontiers newsletter for some reason. But besides that, as far as I know, you can't change Sonic's look at all. I don't know, I guess I kinda expect an open world game to offer some type of outfit customization. Let's get Rider Sonic, or Boom Sonic, or maybe even Low Poly Sonic. The game has only been out for a day as I'm making this video, and I haven't finished it yet, but I am about halfway through, and I wanted to get my initial thoughts out. Sometime later, I'll most likely give this game a proper in-depth look with spoilers and all. But so far, this game has been great. I went from being skeptical to being optimistic to having my expectations exceeded. Maybe this is just a honeymoon phase, but this definitely has the potential to be one of my favorite Sonic games. This is the perfect way to bring new life into this franchise. Take elements from the old games that work and apply them in a fresh and engaging way. Take the elements from the old games that didn't work and chuck them into outer space. Unfortunately, whenever a great new game comes out, of course the next question is, where do we go from here? Another open world game? Back to the more streamlined boost games? Or do what Sonic does best and throw something completely new in the picture we never would have expected? At this point, I'm not sure, but with my restored faith in the series, I am looking forward to the future of Sonic the Hedgehog. But more importantly, I'm looking forward to finishing this game. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, there's a whole playlist of videos just like this one on the left side of the screen. If you want to be notified when I post a new video, then click on the subscribe button and the notification bell. If you'd be so kind, click the like button too before you go, as it really helps the channel grow. Thanks guys, explore new frontiers, and have a good one.